Hey everyone, Jason here with Phase Shift Games. All right, pivotal moment here in this campaign. For anyone watching, it should be clear this is not the pace of a Kickstarter campaign that creators want to see. We've essentially stalled. It's day 2. We have only made about a quarter of the funding goal. In short, the campaign needs to be tweaked, needs to be altered, needs to be refined. There is no path for the current campaign to reach a successful conclusion. So we are, as of this evening, going to cancel the campaign shortly after you get this. But we will be back. Not only will we be back, we'll be back in 2 weeks. We've met with a lot of industry professionals, our marketing agency. We've talked with backers. We've talked with our own community on our distribution list. We have a pretty strong sense of how we can fix this campaign and make this game a success. This game is too good to just throw away. It will come back. It will come back on Tuesday, October 1st. So a couple things. What are we planning to do? For those of you who know us at Phase Shift, you know we're very candid. We're very transparent. I talk to you directly because that's what's made us successful so far. You and our engagement and our relationship with you. We care about you. For the new folks who are coming here that like this game, thank you so much. Please come back in 2 weeks. We want every single one of you back. Let's tell you how we're going to adjust things. And I'm not going to be verbose here. I'm going to try to keep it brief. Product positioning is an interesting one. We, Phase Shift, have clearly set out to do something different here. We positioned it as, we called it 3D strategy. This is our new line of 3D strategy games. While that's true, that's our internal strategy, and we perhaps push that too much publicly. That is not a known phrase, 3D strategy. Like, you know the words 3D and strategy, but it's not a phrase that immediately tells you what this game is. What is this game? It's tower defense. It's tile placement. It's got a 3D twist. It is not dexterity. Oh, I get a little loud here because this is a pet peeve of mine. A lot of our games, Dungeon Drop, Drop Drive, there's this misconception just because people see images of the physicality of these games, the dropping of components, or in this case, the stacking of a tower, and people think immediately it's a dexterity game. We don't like dexterity games. Dungeon Drop has a little flicking in it, but it's not a dexterity game. In any case, for this one, people saw the stacking, and there's a sense that, oh, I have to balance these things. No, there's no balancing. Or I'm going to flick a meeple at the tower and try to destroy it. There's none of that. This is a strategy game, and we need to make that point clear. So we are probably going to use the phrase tower defense because people know what that means, and tile placement. People know what that means. We'll still, indicate it's got a 3D twist, right? It's pandemic in 3 dimensions. Okay, so that's number 1. Number 2, the funding goal. We had a high funding goal from a Kickstarter perspective, $29,000. We had that goal because we have 3 custom 3D molded plastic components in the game, 3 different molds. Those molds are hella expensive. We essentially were creating a minis game without character minis, but they were building minis. They're the spires and the pillars and the invaders. Well, those cost a ton of money, and maybe we'll get to make those custom 3D components down the road if the game does really well, but we're going to start without those. We don't need to have custom pillars. We can have cubes. Cubes work perfectly fine for this. In fact, that's all the game had for years of development. And it was only in the last 2 months or so that we said, oh, let's make the 3D pillars. Anyway, you get the idea. We're going to simplify the components so that we don't need this super high funding target. We can have a much lower funding target. That will attract people much more. That's just patently true. And the product price point as well. I think $50, which is the early bird, is a great price point for a big box co-op game in today's market. I think that's actually a great price. But if we can do better, we'll lower it even more. We'll see where we have to do a bunch of numbers and talk with our manufacturer. We'll see if we can do even better. and so on. We're going to add more pizzazz to the campaign page. We're going to describe the characters better. We're going to show off the character cards better. We have special events already planned while I'm out at Essen in Germany. The Dice Tower's coming to our booth and playing the game live. That's already lined up. Tantrum House is coming to our booth and playing live. We're going to stream it. We want to capitalize on all this stuff. So we're going pretty fast. We got 2 weeks, and we will be back live from Germany during the first week of the relaunch, and we're stupidly excited for it. This is still going to happen, and it's going to be an amazing release. This game deserves to be in your hands. So thank you from the bottom of our hearts for the backers that are here. We need a lot more of you. That's the bottom line. We need a lot more backers. Otherwise, the game can't happen. So we need to refine, revise, improvise, improve, etc. We're going to do all those things. We're going to be back in 2 weeks. Thank you. Stay tuned. Talk to you soon. Bye.